Alright, here's the Samsung Neo QLED QN900D, Samsung's 2024 flagship 8K TV, and they say it'll redefine what high-end TV means. But after living with it for a while, I've got to say, there's one thing the ads totally gloss over. Stick around, I'll tell you whether this beast is a future-proof investment or just an expensive flex. Samsung Neo QLED product overview. So, what are we looking at? This is the Samsung Neo QLED QN900D, their premium 8K mini LED TV flagship for 2024, launched in March in 65, 75, and 85-inch sizes, targeted at cinephiles, gamers, and anyone who wants the brightest, cleanest, most future-ready display. Its standout pitch? AI-driven upscaling powered by the NQ8 AI Gen 3 processor, promising to make everything, yes, even standard def stuff, look like ultra-sharp 8K. Samsung Neo QLED performance. Specs are one thing, but how does this hold up day to day? I streamed movies, binge-watched shows, flipped through social media, and plugged in my console. First thing you notice? The brightness. This thing hits stellar HDR peaks. Rtings measured it at over 2,300 nits in a 10% window, making highlights pop even in sunny rooms. Colors? Vibrant, punchy, and accurate right out of the box. Games look excellent. Sharp contrast, deep blacks, and full HDMI 2.1 support for 4K at 240 Hz and 8K at 60 Hz, plus VRR and ALLM make everything feel responsive. But here's the real talk. Pixel transitions at 240 Hz can feel a bit soft. Motion gets a blur because transitions are slower than a high-end gaming monitor. Still, input lag is low enough to feel snappy in every test mode. Watching standard definition content? The upscaling impresses. AI Upscaling Pro uses 512 neural networks to sharpen and reduce noise, but it's not perfect. Sometimes low bitrate stuff retains artifacts. Features and tech. Let's break down the features that actually matter. 8K AI Upscaling Pro. This 2024 processor uses 512 neural networks, 8 times last year's count, to sharpen any content, so your OG DVDs and streaming shows get a serious clarity lift. Infinity Air Design Plus One Connect box. The TV looks stunning, ultra-thin, practically bezel-less, and with that mirrored floating stand. That One Connect box is a practical gem, keeping clutter at bay. Mini LED with Quantum Matrix HDR. The backlight gives insane HDR brightness with deep blacks and minimal blooming, contrast that punches on both dark nights and bright days. Design and build. Visual cue. Close-up on stand, cable connection to One Connect box, thin profile from side. Aesthetically, Samsung hit a home run. The Infinity Air design is as sleek as it gets, with almost no bezel and a floating mirrored pedestal stand that screams premium. The screen is wafer thin, just over ½ an inch when wall-mounted. That One Connect box is a practical gem, keeping clutter at bay. The materials feel high-end, screen reflections are managed nicely, though it still picks up fingerprint smudges. Pros. Blinding HDR brightness that slays glare and delivers cinematic pop. AI-powered upscaling that elevates non-8K content pretty dramatically. Gorgeous, minimalistic design that works great on a wall or stand. Robust gaming features and immersive sound tech that actually enhance your experience. Cons. Still no Dolby Vision support, a bummer for HDR purists. Motion blur at 240 Hz, high-speed gaming isn't as sharp on monitors. Pricey, and 8K content is still rare. Final verdict. So, who should actually consider spending this kind of money? If you're a movie buff, gamer, or just someone who loves jaw-dropping visuals and future-proof tech, the QN900D is a no-brainer. The brightness, AI upscaling, and immersive audio make it feel like a mini home cinema. But if most of your content is 4K, and it is for most of us, or you want absolute motion clarity for competitive gaming, you might get more practical mileage from top-tier 4K OLEDs or even next-gen Samsung 4K models. Still, compared to the newer QN990F, reviewers say the QN900D delivers better overall value. Same processor, better HDR brightness and audio at a lower price.